We have just checked in to our hotel room. We are in the Holiday Inn Express. And check this out. Tanya is wearing her new Qantas, yes indeed, PJs. Yes. So we are the Qantas twins now. Here in Jakarta. In Jakarta. Well, it's our first full day in Jakarta, Tanya. And we are giving our first impressions. It's Sunday, so the traffic isn't quite as heavy as it otherwise would be, but it's fairly humid, but it's not all that hot. What do you think, Tanya? What's your first impression?
Well, it's very cloudy. There's no sun, so that keeps it cooler.
Yeah.
And it is humid, but when the breeze blows, it's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. What we're going to see right now, this is one of the highlights of visiting Jakarta. This is the National Monument. And you can see it's a Sunday. I don't know if that makes any difference, but a lot of people out and about. While we're on our way up to the monument itself, let's talk a little bit about our entry into Jakarta. Last night we came in. I have to say the airport is very well organized. Don't you agree, Tanya?
Oh, extremely. And I just can't believe our Uber or Grab driver.
Yeah, very clean. We took a Grab. Get the Grab app before you get here, and it's easier than Uber. They even have selected Grab meeting points where the guy will come, and the driver we had was amazing.
Amazing. He drove us all over the place to where our hotel is and didn't use the GPS once.
Yeah, it was about a 45 minute ride with traffic. From the airport to our hotel, which is very close to the National Monument. So if you kind of look at that on a map as a milepost, or landmark. Thank you. We got a visa on arrival, so when you get off the plane and before you go through immigration, you get a visa if you don't have one ahead of time. And that was very slick, very done electronically. You can pay with a credit card, and it was about $33 US for each of us for a 30-day visa. And that'll be great because we're going to be here about 26 days in Indonesia. And then we got the Grab, and their immigration process was very, very easy, all electronic. Scan your passport. I mean, I have to say almost everywhere we go is so far ahead of whatever the US does, but I don't want to cast aspersions on the greatest country in the world. Okay, what else can you say? We're staying at the Holiday Inn Express. There are several of them, but the one we're at, I have to tell you, if I haven't already, for 4 nights, using our points, with the point value, it's about $135 for all 4 nights. So that's total.
A very nice room.
Yeah, so it's about $33 a night. And very nice. That includes breakfast, and it's not a wimpy breakfast. There's just tons of different offerings.
And we were the only Western-looking people.
We were the only, so
that was cool.
So if you want to stay at a place that isn't the Grand Hyatt or the Four Seasons or something like that, a Holiday Inn Express, it works great, and that's where the people are. I mean, and that's where you're getting a lot of the really great Indonesian food that was there with chili peppers and sauce, sambal as they call it. You will be amazed when you come to Jakarta at what a metropolitan city it is. It's just amazing. ATMs everywhere, shopping everywhere, food everywhere. Tanya, you see what we have coming up in front of us? It's the famous train of shame. That's what we call it. So if you can, he's giving us a honk. And so far, we are the only Westerners that we've seen so far.
Looks like that.
Just a couple of goobs walking around with their camera. One thing that we have noticed and we commented on, we've been here, of course, in Indonesia for less than 24 hours, but how friendly people are, and I don't mean in an overly effusive way. They smile. It's not a big toothy smile necessarily, but it's a very nice, your very knowing smile. Look, we're all in this together. And let's see if we can get through it.
And they don't walk around smiling.
No.
But when you make eye contact, interact with them, they'll give you a smile.
They give you a smile.
Oh, very nice.
It's very nice. Yeah. One of our first stops this morning was to pick up some cash. So we found an ATM. The first one we found didn't work with our card, but the next one did. And let me give you an idea. In today's rates here in February 2025, 10,000 rupee is worth about 61 cents, 62 US cents. So Tanya and I became instant double millionaires. So in the park on a Sunday morning, here are all the local people just out enjoying the day with their families. So we're all out here in the. So there's a little food area here. I shouldn't say little; it's huge. Of lots of different food stalls, and right next to outside of the monument. And so Tanya and I, we are getting some satay, and she's getting some kind of a orange coconut drink of some kind, I suppose. Great, thank you. Wow. So that peanut sauce on this satay, it looks like it's a chicken satay, is really spicy.
Sweet.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sweet. The one I taste is really
Well, it's burning my mouth out, so I don't know. On the MRT, which is their metro here in Jakarta, and we're on our way over to Block M, this big shopping area. It's about 20 minutes to 6 at night, and there's like nobody on this train. All right, well, we've arrived at Block M Square on the subway, and this is just absolutely incredible. Stores galore. So this area was this was the capital of the Dutch East Indies. Those pesky Dutch, they just were busy colonizing all over the place. And it was a huge area, and still is. We were hoping we could find a Heineken beer, since it's Dutch, or used to be. But we'll see. Let's go. This is a really odd thing. So here are all these bicycles with hats on them and so forth. And here are some, young ladies. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're waiting for boyfriends, or it's not what you think it is. I don't think. Or maybe you can have your picture taken with them or something. Anyway, or with this guy. Here's a group of Western tourists, and they certainly look like they would be beer drinkers.
She's supposed to be there.
So here's a sporty little number, Tanya. I thought this was a Corvair, but it's an old Fiat. Yeah. Yeah, it's really got the drive-through air conditioning there. If you're coming to Jakarta, Jakarta is no place for wimps. You're just assaulted with of course there's the heat and the humidity, but the noise and the sounds and the smells and all of your senses kind of being, I don't want to say being attacked, but they're all being affected simultaneously.
And you're watching out for traffic.
And of course, watching out for traffic. But crossing the street is not bad. It's not bad at all. Sometimes if you can't find a break in the traffic, you just go, and they kind of go around you, and you kind of keep an eye out. It's not as bad as like Bangkok used to be a long time ago, or even Vietnam. It's fairly easy. People in Jakarta are incredibly friendly and helpful. We have not had any place where if we were, confused or not knowing exactly what we're doing, we haven't had somebody help us out. We went back to the big wholesale marketplace today because I wanted to get a new piece of luggage because my old one broke, it fell apart. And a young kid, we were in one part, it's a huge complex. They call it Block A. It's also Block B, and it's another thing, but it's just floor after floor of clothing and textiles and goods. And this young man was so helpful, and I tried to talk to a couple of other people, and they didn't quite get me, and even using Google Translate, it didn't quite work. So they got this young man, Thomas, and he was so happy.
Happened to be the manager of the building.
Happened to be the building manager, and he took, at least 10-15 minutes out of his day to go with us, take us on this elevator, point us in the right direction, offered to give us his number so that if we got lost, we could give him a call. I mean, they're just so nice and helpful. And if you ever think you're not figuring out the metro system or the bus system at all, people are very helpful to help you get that figured out. It's just very, very nice and very safe. It's been said before that if you're coming to Jakarta looking for a tropical paradise and beach or place to kick back with a cocktail, this is not the place for that. It's a huge city, but it's fairly easy to get around with public transportation, and you just take it for what it is. It's the capital, and it has a rich culture. And of course, when you walk around, people think you're a movie star. You don't mind saying hi. Hi.
Hi.
The area around Old Town is designed to look like the Netherlands. Really it's a stretch to think it looks like Amsterdam, but you've got a canal, you have these little bridges across the canal.
And getting concerned about.
Yep, and it gives you a Dutch vibe. Well, we almost got separated there, Tanya. We were getting on the bus to go back to the area where our hotel is, and we were so sure of what we were doing. Tanya went ahead and got right on the bus, and then these guys are wildly gesticulating to me as I'm starting to get on the follower, and they're telling me, no, this is a woman-only bus. Oh my God, they're like, Tanya.
But you know, my saying is, you see a bus, get on it.
Exactly. It was pink, which was interesting. Oh, now.
But you in.
What?
But you.
Of you. That's you.
But happy.
There you are.
He's happy.
Very happy. So here's a happy bus rider, I think. You know, these Indonesians, they're a stitch. So I think why that guy came up to us, Tanya, we just thought it was hilarious. I think that we were sitting up there, the lady just got on the bus and told us that I'm sitting in the woman's only section of the bus. And I said, oh, okay, and she says, okay, that Tanya sits there, but I have to sit in the back. And I said, well, can we sit together in the back? Oh yeah, that's okay. All right, so we got up and moved, and then we thanked her. She was very polite. Just got to know the rules here, Tanya.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our 4-night, 3-day trip to Jakarta, and now we're off to Bandung on the luxury train. So we'll fill you in on that. See you later.